Hi YouTube and welcome to my channel. I'm Spin and I'm a Valorant coach. Today I'm going to be going over Team Liquid's agent selection in the recent Blast Twitch Invitational. For those of you who aren't up to speed, Team Liquid went pretty off meta with their team composition, to the surprise of the event commentators.
Picks underway. Tom, are there any particular picks that you're expecting here?
Got no Cypher straight off the bat, so I imagine that's going to be the... Oh, okay, Phoenix. Now we really are getting spicy. Are they going to run no smokes?
That's a change of Eccles moving off an Omen as well. Team Liquid really mixing things up on this one. I'm interested.
What's Scream playing? Is he still playing Reyna?
Yes. Oh my god. What is this? So we've got no smokes. What is this? So we've got no smokes. No smokes.
Playing on Ascent, where smokes are considered particularly essential, they didn't choose either Brimstone or Omen, and still won in a dominating 13-5 scoreline. So, how did they do it? For this review, I've used the Blast TV broadcast, and I'd like to say huge thanks to Blast for their permission in letting me do so. You can find their social media in the video description, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, and leave a comment to let me know what you think of Liquid's agent choice.
We can hand it over to our first game of the day. It's Liquid versus NiP. James and Mitch, take it away.
The first thing I want to highlight here is that Team Liquid are using a jet instead of a raise. This makes a big difference on Ascent because it allows them to close the distance, play more aggressively in the choke points, where raises use a lot more for area denial, particularly on maps like Bind, which is very strong. Second thing I want to draw attention to, if we look at the minimap, is the aggressive positions of the defending players. So here we have the Phoenix. Let me just highlight this for you. Phoenix and the Killjoy playing very close to the choke. And again, the same on this side. We will see these two players move. The Breach will move into Garden, where he's able to support both a main and a short. But effectively, this is a setup that we'll see throughout this match. The reason they do this is so that they can contest the ground that they have very, very aggressively. They don't give up any ground at all without getting something out of NiP for it. The other thing I want to highlight is that in mid, they have no presence. They hardly ever contest mid. So they leave this empty almost the whole game, leaving only the alarm bot in mid for some information. So they'll know if NiP start to push mid, but they aren't trying to contest it. They do contest it on a couple of occasions, which I'll highlight later on, and we'll see why. This jet plays really aggressively out of the choke. And he's played it really well. Picks up 2 kills and effectively wins the round for his team. That puts us on to round 2. As you can see here, Liquid buy up for this round, and NiP are forcing. Not a lot to take away from this round. This is one off the back of the pistol round.
But pistols, like you mentioned, Mitch, and now is the real test of their strength. How do they deal with it when all the weapons come into play?
So round 3. Both teams are buying up on this round, so Link's boys operator. Lucka does the same for NiP. But Liquid are still on a kind of broken buy. They saved their guns from the previous round, so they have 2 guys on SMGs, and they actually win this round. And this is crucial. This allows them to have the huge advantage in the economy, and we'll see how they do it. The first thing I want to take away is a mistake in contesting mid. So as I mentioned previously, they hardly ever contest mid. This position here from Scream is not really a mistake. He's just holding an aggressive choke point like the others, but what he does next is overextend into mid.
Straight on past that operator. Straight up in it, gonna skip on bar.
There's always a chance that he can get a kill there, but there are 3 people there. He has no information. He pushes out. They're able to destroy the eye and then kill him very quickly. So it's an overextension there. Here we can see a position where Sulcus is ready to fight in the choke point, and this is very common. You'll see this from him all the way through this map.
Stuck his way out of there, and
This next little clip, Sulcus has now moved around. We'll just highlight the minimap quickly. So Team Liquid have given up complete control of mid, which is what we said is pretty common for this game. As they push out here, however, Sulcus has moved into a position where he's ready to take the fight whenever he wants. So this is something that Liquid do all the way through the game. They're trying to be very proactive, deciding when they take the fights, and making it so that NiP are never on the front foot. They're always waiting for Liquid to act.
Man hold on each side, but that means mid is completely open.
He's a little bit unlucky to only get 1 kill, but it's traded up all the way down to a 1v1 where Eccles is able to win.
The flash has gone out, but Eccles He doesn't want to peek on it just yet. They're about to find each
As I said, round 3 win puts them into a position where they're fighting against the NiP eco round, and it's an easy round for them. So on this next round, we'll see a really nice aggressive push out from Liquid. Solkus uses his ultimate on the Phoenix, but he's followed up by Link with his operator, who's ready to trade the kill as soon as he's killed there by hit. So they get 1 kill at the cost of the Phoenix ult, which is absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, they don't win this round. NiP trade up a few kills onto the A site, and you see there, Korea gets a couple of kills as they execute in. It's a good play from NiP to win the round. But I just wanted to highlight that aggressive play at the beginning, which they can do because they have the Phoenix ultimate. So this next round, Liquid on a bit of a broken buy. You can see here they have 2 SMGs. And in fact, they still managed to win this round. I'm not going to highlight a lot out of this round because it just, in my opinion, came down to some good fights from Liquid that realistically they probably shouldn't have won. But they play well and they win the round. It doesn't really have any relevance to their lineup or anything like that, so I'm going to skip it for now. So on to the next round. NiP are forcing on 2 players here. You see these 2 guys don't have the money to buy up, so they're not on a full buy. So Liquid have a small gun advantage in this round, and we'll see how they play it. It's very, very intelligent how they play this round. You'll see once again, they're holding this really aggressive position right up at the choke point. They never play really far back in heaven or anything like that. They always play really right up by the chokes. So Solkus is ready. He flashes out on the contact with the enemy team. I just want to draw attention to the position of Eccles here. On the minimap, you can see he's here, in short, because he knows that there are some people on A long. So Solkus in the second flashes out, and he flashes into 4 players, and he gets killed because there's 4 guys spamming the choke point.
Against this kind of a comp, you cannot go.
But that's amazing information for them, and you see Eccles now starts to move into mid, and you can see now that he's holding this position where he's able to watch down mid. And he actually picks up a kill as NiP rotate back into mid.
Was ready for it. The flash not fully catching all of them, and with that, that's a bit of a disastrous start.
So this is a good example of when Liquid can test mid. It's very rare that they do it. Whenever they do it, they always have an advantage of either the guns they have. So when an NiP on eco rounds, or it's when they have the information that there can only be 1 person in mid. Very smart play from Eccles, picks up a kill, and it brings the round back to neutral. And in fact, you can see at the top here, the raise is actually weak from that previous engagement. So Liquid, in fact, have the advantage going into the rest of the round. And we'll just see how it plays out. But an execute finally onto A from NiP. And once again, Liquid can test the choke very aggressively, and NiP don't even get in. This next round, you can see another eco win for Liquid. So this is kind of a running theme. Because they've won so many rounds early on, the NiP economy is completely broken, and they're in a position where Liquid effectively, every time they win a round, NiP are forced to eco, and they get almost 2 rounds for each round that they play. Here's a quick replay of that eco round, but there's not a huge amount to take away. As I said, Liquid have the better guns, and they're able to win the round fairly easily. So I want to highlight a bit of a setup that Liquid used this time, so we'll see on the minimap. So over here in Garden, they have the Phoenix playing aggressively on the choke once again, supported by the Killjoy turret. So what he's doing here is he sits close in this corner. As soon as the turret sees someone in the choke point, he'll flash out and engage. Unfortunately, the timing's slightly off, as we'll see here. Lucker, in fact, just swings wide, straight through the turret. The flash doesn't hit him until after he kills Solkus. And after that, each kill is traded 1 for 1, all the way down to the last kill. Unfortunately, since Liquid lost the first man, they're unable to win that round. We're back onto a full buy for both teams again. Eccles is on the Bulldog, but it's more or less a full buy.
What percentage of games do they win the game in?
And you'll see Sulcus here is pushing out once again with his ultimate. This time they make a mistake. So last time he pushed out, he got some really good information that the mid was clear, and then they peeked mid. This time, what we'll see happens. He peeks A main here, sees nobody, so he knows that there's nobody close on A main, and therefore that they could be in mid. And what's happened at the same time? Link has pushed up into mid. So he's contested this sideline here, and typically you'd expect him to win this. He has an operator, so he should win. So it's not a huge mistake. But this time he's contested it when they don't have any information, and he's died for it. That's the second time that that's happened, and as I said, they don't really do it again for the rest of the game.
They keep themselves calm and collected with it all. They've been.
So this round, even though we can't see it, Team Liquid aren't on a full buy. They're not on quite an eco, they're on a low buy, so they've got SMGs, Marshals, etc. And we'll see a good aggressive play here from Sulcus to pick up a kill in mid. So he contests mid, but the way he does it is by using the Phoenix Firewall down the left side to block off as if he had a smoke, and then flashing aggressively into the choke point. It's a good play from him, picks up one kill. Unfortunately, the rest of the round pretty much goes the way of NiP. Liquid pick up quite a few kills, but lose the round. But it puts them in a good position in terms of their economy. So now we're on to the next round, and we've got NiP executing onto A. And it's a really heavy execute. They have all 5 people ready to commit here. Pick up an early kill. I just want to draw attention now to the position of Team Liquid. So as I mentioned, one of the crucial things they do throughout this game is to really aggressively contest choke points. And here you can see once again they've got this great position from Sulcus and Eccles, where they have this crossfire across the choke, and they fight for every inch. So as NiP are executing, they haven't backed off. They're just ready to contest. And watch how it plays out for them.
Left over. The next, that is so dangerous. Cryptix has been hit by every ult on the planet.
Between the 3 of them, they pick up 3 kills in the choke point, and it's a 1 round for them. So the half finishes 8-4 on Liquid's defense, and with a very aggressive lineup, obviously that sets them up really well going into the attack.
They found their way to
Pistol round here, obviously both teams on equal footing. You'd actually see, interestingly, Scream has both the Ghost and armor, which means Eccles has bought the Ghost for him. So they're relying a lot on Scream having a good round.
Competition is going to throw at them, Mitch.
And we'll see the way he plays this. Given that he has the armor and the Ghost, he's able to play quite an aggressive round and take a fight that otherwise would have been probably a risky play. So here he is. He pushes into mid. Lucko, in fact, doesn't want to be contesting this at this point. And he picks up the first kill, opens up the round for his team. Now what I love is that they play really, really patiently. They don't reveal where they are. They move slowly over to B side. Let's just have a quick look at their positions. You have Link over on A, and the rest of the team over on B. And so when they execute, Link dashes in just as the others execute. So Link dashing in on this side means that these 2 guys can't rotate off the site to support on B. And so Team Liquid are ready to take a 4v2 on the site that they actually want. And in fact, Link manages to pick up 1 kill over on the A site. The rest of the team picks up another kill over on the B site, and suddenly it's a 4v2. And once again, the second round of Team Liquid's attack, they buy up aggressively this time. 2 rifles going into round 2, which is quite a risky play, but they're playing well, they're playing confidently, and NiP once again forced to eco into round 2, and they lose this round easily. And realistically, NiP needed this pistol round to get back in the game. In this next clip, we'll see Liquid play this a lot more like a normal game. We'll check this position. Instead of aggressively stacking up one site, they contest mid, playing a default. One over on the B side, 1 over on the A side, and then 3 people contesting mid. They're able to do this, of course, because they have the rifles, whereas they expect NiP to be on the eco round. So the gun advantage, they don't need to block off the long sidelines because they know at long distance they have the advantage. So this is one of the rare times that they can test mid like a normal team would on Ascent, and they're able to do so because of this gun advantage.
It's kind of what we expected with it.
So a quick replay of how the round plays out. They take mid control, and they're able to just push into B. Some great shots from Link, and it's a round win for them. This is the third round again. NiP on a full buy, and Liquid are on a broken buy, 2 SMGs, and no operator this time. And this is my absolute favourite round from them. Effectively, I want to look at two things. Firstly, they play very, very patiently. So they wait out 2 smokes from NiP on the A side. Secondly, they choose to execute on the A side because they can use a Molotov in place of a smoke to block off the Heaven sightline. And thirdly, how well coordinated their aggression is on their execute. It's a very fast execute, and it's very, very well played. We'll watch it in some detail.
It's really demotivating. You're seeing.
So as I mentioned, they play really patiently here. The whole team is stacked up over on the A site, but they just wait in this smoke. They don't even face out the smoke. They just sit here. They're being completely silent. The team doesn't know where they are. Korea from NiP sets up another smoke, and they just wait. They don't face. They don't peek. Very, very patient play. NiP at the moment has no information on where they are. And as soon as this smoke goes down, they execute fast into the site.
But they're just really biding their time. Echo's gonna get them set up and ready.
And we'll just watch it through.
Straight dashing in, Link, knives are out. Oh,
2 kills, and then they're free just to defend the retake. Really great execute, and we'll see on the replay they have a third-person view, and we can go through it in a bit more detail there. So let's have a look at this. So the first thing you notice, Molotov to check wine. And a smoke to block off this sightline here. If someone is holding in this corner by the box. The Reyna flash comes in, and another smoke from the Jet. A flash from the breach, and as this flash comes in, the Jet dashes in. So you can see at the bottom here, the Killjoy is flashed, so she doesn't notice the dash come in from the Jet. As this happens, the Molotov here from the Killjoy is thrown over the wall and lands in Heaven here. This is crucial because the way this sightline is set up, dropping a Molotov in here means that nobody can peek it. So it's as good or even better than a smoke. A smoke, obviously someone can push through. A Molotov, they really can't. So doing this completely shuts off this sightline. And in fact, before executing, they've obviously heard that the door is shut. So they don't use any utility to shut off this sightline into garden. So they only have to block off the sightlines on site that they use these 2 Jet smokes for, and the one in Heaven, which they use the Molotov for. The Jet then dashes into this side, knowing she's completely safe, flanks behind, and kills the Killjoy without them even noticing.
You swing around, your setup time puts you at a massive.
There's another Reyna flash comes in, where the Phoenix is able to trade off of that. Really fast, and they just overwhelm the guys on site. Once again, NiP on an eco round. And Liquid, as we saw before, they can test mid once again. So NiP go aggressive into mid here. And if we look at the map control, it's once again a pretty default setup. So before, where they've been stacking up on a single site, here they've got 2 people ready to contest mid. And against NiP, who are on pistols, they have a big advantage when they have rifles.
It worked in practice. We believe in it. We know what can work. Sliggy is obviously.
And here you can see they pick up 2 kills just from contesting the mid. And after that, they're able to fairly easily close out this round.
Yeah, you know what's going to be quite funny about this, Banks, if Liquid keep this up, right, in our very long game.
Next round, both teams on a full buy again. And NiP managed to win this one with some really good play from Fear off on his Sova over on the B site.
That is a long,
So 4 people
road.
stacked up onto B,
We're looking at a very offensive
and he manages to get 2
competition as
kills
well.
here
Like,
through the
these
wall.
guys have literally got, what is it,
So good play from
7 rounds to
NiP.
play with every round.
But you'll see the B side, they've had a lot less luck, and I think crucially that's because they aren't able to block off any sightlines. They're able to obviously get spotted out fairly early compared to on the A side, where it's a little bit easier for them to stay hidden.
Like you're saying.
And so now at 12-5, they only have to win 1 more round. They've decided to play their setup over onto the A site. You can see here 4 people stacked up over on A. 1 lurking, who I think comes to join them fairly quickly. And once again, they wait patiently, then play and execute over onto the A site. And we'll see how that plays out. Hit makes a mistake here. He hears the orb through the smoke, sprays it down. But Liquid are ready just to return the spam through the smoke and pick up an early kill. And this really just opens up for them there now. So the rotations are coming in from NiP. They clear wine once again with the utility. They use their ult, block off the sightline for the left side as the door is open this time. Flash using the Reyna flash, and they've picked up another kill. Now they've got control of the site. 5v3, and all they have to do is defend the retake. Once again, using the Molotov to block off that top sightline. And they take good positions so that as NiP come in, they're able to just trade up the kills and win the round. So some really great executes from Team Liquid on the A site. And honestly, it's a great performance from Liquid. So let's go over quickly the 3 main points that led to Liquid winning this game. Firstly, contest choke points. We saw all the way through Liquid's defense, they held very, very close to the choke points, never taking passive positions sitting at the back of sites. With no smokes, they didn't have the liberty of sitting back and using the smokes to dictate the pace of the match. They had to be proactive, they had to stay closer to the choke points, flash out and take fights when they wanted. They were very proactive, but they were also very patient. It's important if you're playing this kind of style to not go hunting for kills, to not overextend, and just to wait for that first contact, flash out the choke point, and then fight. And finally, don't contest mid. On a scent at least, without smokes, it's very, very difficult to contest those long sightlines. Liquid knew this, and they only contested mid when they knew they had a strong advantage going into the fight. For those of you who stayed till the end, thank you so much for spending the time to watch my video. It really means a lot, and I hope you found something useful to take away with you. If you want more content like this, I also stream every week, Twitch TV/LightToSpin, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays at 1 o'clock Central European Time. Thanks again, and hope to see you again soon.